Hello. What's your name?
Liam.
How long have you been here for?
What time is it? Coming up 12 hours.
So you got here like 7 o'clock in the morning or something like that?
5 in the morning.
5 in the morning?
5 a.m., yeah.
Bloody hell. What number are you in the queue? Number 1.
The original.
We got the first one.
Yeah, first here.
Who are you most looking forward to seeing?
Buried tomorrow.
Oh, they're going to be brilliant. They're first on, aren't they?
No, second.
Are they second on? Oh, yeah. Fair play. What's your favourite song that you're looking forward to being played and stuff like that?
Probably Watcher by Buried Tomorrow.
That'll be brilliant.
Really looking forward to that one.
Brilliant. Have a good night.
You too.
What's your names?
Lucy, Hannah.
Hey, how long have you been here for?
Like 4 hours.
Bloody hell. So what time do you arrive in, roughly?
About 1.
I know, I keep forgetting what time it is. Who are you most looking forward to see?
Really crowd.
That could be brilliant. I can't wait. What song are you most looking forward to seeing?
Lights out.
Brilliant. Are you going to be at the front or the back, do you reckon? You're going to be
The front.
at the front, judging to see you're number 14? Which number are you? Yeah. Brilliant. Have a good night, guys. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Camille.
Brilliant. How long have you been here for?
Since 7:30.
Bloody hell, that's a long time. You've been out in the rain.
Sorry?
You've been out in the rain and the cold.
No, I was in the building.
I was going to say, there's some people outside before, and I was like, I wouldn't want to be there.
I don't want to
Who are you most looking forward to see?
We are in crowd. I'm gonna see them for the third time.
Oh, brilliant. How many times have you seen them before again?
Sorry?
How many times have you seen them before? Or?
2 already.
Fair play, hardcore fan then. Brilliant. What song are you looking forward to best?
The best thing.
That'll be brilliant. Have a good night.
We're Beartooth and you're listening to Rockturnal Radio.
So yeah, welcome back to the UK for a start. How's the tour going so far? Yeah?
Good.
It's really digging, good rock.
All the bands are pretty cool.
We're all really diverse on this tour as well, the genres and stuff. So there could potentially be a part where like you're playing to somebody who maybe hasn't heard of you before.
We're
how is
a lot
that?
of people
Like,
that haven't heard of us before. It's
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, it's, I don't know how to describe it. It can be kind of weird sometimes because it'll be like maybe there's been shows where maybe like 15, 20 people knew like our stuff, and they'd kind of be like scattered around, and you'd see them with their fist up like, yeah, and this like sea of people just staring at you like, what the hell is this? But I mean, it's cool to be able to show people what we do that we've never heard before.
Is there any differences that you've experienced in, like what you talked about with crowds, between US and like UK crowds?
I really haven't, like, people ask us this a lot, and I really think it's more city to city than it is country to country.
Really?
Wall of Death. Over here, everyone does Wall of Death.
Yeah,
We love it. We're great.
Yeah, just like, you don't even ask for it, they just go. And then the breakdown comes in, and it's...
the mosh is a little different here. It's legitimately just moshing. It's people pushing. It's not people like dancing, which I actually kind of like. I think that's sweet.
Push pit's better.
Push pit. It's like Motorhead show.
circle pits and stuff as well, yeah.
Oh yeah, circle pits are great.
I saw some like live footage. I was like doing a bit of research. I saw some live footage where you said that you hate the separation between yourselves and like the crowd when you're on stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Can you explain a bit? Can you explain a bit about that?
I mean, just I prefer to play shows without barricades because then people can be more involved in like. It just feels more natural to us. I mean, obviously, a show with a barricade, we're still gonna play it the same as we do as one without it. But I think it just feels nice that people, if they like know a part, can like get up and just get right in your face and sing it with you, and I know that they're feeling the same energy that we're feeling when there's like 10 feet and a barricade in front. It's just kind of like, hey down there, how you doing? Yeah. Kind of weird sometimes, but
barricade's kind of scary sometimes. When I'm watching like kids come over.
Yeah, there's bad security as well. Like people get hurt way more.
Because like when there's not a barricade, they just fall on stage and jump off, or like
they fall maybe 2 feet and kind of like plop on the stage, then they roll back into the crowd or just walk back in. When there's a barricade, they're falling 5 feet onto a hard concrete floor.
I've done that.
Yeah.
It's scary, man.
Yeah, it is. Like, I mean, I even know that, like, as members going out into the crowd, like, security's been so bad at shows that they just get dropped on their heads. It's just like,
You got dropped.
yeah, he got dropped straight onto his head.
I got dropped a few times.
Security ripped my pants one time. I was standing on the barricade and he grabbed on the back of my pocket and I didn't know. And so I jumped into the crowd and he just held on and just ripped my pocket straight off my pants. I didn't notice and I had a big hole in my pants.
There was one show where Cam and I both jumped in the crowd and we came back towards the barricade and there was just no security. Did you get that? And we both just fell over it and I headbutted the
climbing in there trying to I'm like, where'd it go?
Yeah, so bad.
And it was pitch black.
Terrible.
Oh, not good.
That's why we don't like barricades.
No, that's totally fair, yeah. It's understandable.
We just do a 45-minute interview about how much we hate bears.
Just the whole feature, yeah, why not?
Your debut album, Disgusting, obviously, it was huge. I know Kerrang, it was up in people's top 10s the whole year throughout the whole production team and everyone loved it. What were your influences like for the album and stuff like that? Do you have any major ones? There's a lot of things.
We were influenced by Kerrang.
I mean,
It feels like it's been used last night.
I don't know. It's really hard to like settle on specific bands. I think it's more about, for me, it was more just about like the energy and the vibe of stuff than like specific bands. I didn't really listen to like a band and think, all right, I want to write a record that sounds like them. Or I think it was just kind of a collective of all this stuff I've been listening to over the past probably 4 years of my life, and I don't know where I was in my head, and yeah, it will just kind of spill out in the record.
So there's a lot of like emotion and like personality in the record, so you can definitely tell. Cool.
I try. I mean, I want it to be like a real honest thing and a very, straightforward vibe of what I was feeling at that time.
Yeah, so yeah, like you said before, the lineup on this tour is quite diverse and stuff, so, and like all the different bands. So I've asked the other bands this question as well. What's your favourite song of each of the other bands?
Favorite song of each of the other bands?
Yeah, on the tour.
The only band I really know the songs is I have a Don Broco song stuck in my head every single morning.
Yeah.
This is just the catchiest stuff.
I don't remember the name. The third song you guys played, it's like real bouncy and jumpy. That one's real sweet. What's that one called?
Of Glory.
Of Glory.
Oh,
that song's real tight.
Good tune, yeah.
Fire by Don Broco. I don't know. Or Yeah Man. I like that one.
Yeah, that one's sweet.
Yeah Man!
I don't know what it is, but I've walked in every single time while Barry Tomorrow was playing, and they've been playing, what's that one that you guys did the video for where you're like in the mountains and stuff? Yeah. Every time I've walked into the venue, you guys are like on that song, and it just gets stuck in my head right away.
I genuinely don't know the name of any Young Guns songs, but they play 3 of them and they're all super awesome.
The only song I know by We Are the In Crowd is that Kiss Me Again song.
Yeah.
So catchy.
And I only hear that song, I like walk by, it's always that song, and I'm like, okay, well, that's not their song.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's that.
Great. Obviously you've been on the Kerrang tour for a little while now. Do you have any like funny stories or anything that's happened with the other bands or yourselves on tour? Anything embarrassing?
Well, a lot of Brandon being naked, but that's like not
Was there a reason?
whatsoever.
Is there a reason or?
We really don't know.
Every band has a naked guy, and he's just ours.
Yeah.
Naked one in every group.
There's been a string of Rich sightings where he's just asleep, like sitting up with his eyes open.
Yeah, Rich.
Slippery Jim.
Slippery Jim.
Basically a lot of stuff that none of you guys are going to have a clue we're talking about.
We make up really stupid jokes that nobody gets.
Yeah, our sense of humor is literally the dumbest sense of humor of any group of people whatsoever. So anything we find funny probably isn't funny in real life.
Do you find any differences between headlining and being a support band? Do you find, is there the same kind of energy, or, like, obviously you still put the same into it, but
I mean,
what's it like?
Energy.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, when you're headlining, it's like, I mean, the there's going to be a lot more people there this year.
Yeah, that
because
must be
you're
amazing.
playing for an hour and you're playing as many songs as you can and the whole thing. So yeah, there's just a lot more energy when you're headlining.
Yeah. I mean, I guess with the trying to get the set list as well, making a set list for a support slot is different from headline slot.
It's not easier. You just kind of play the hits and then
Yeah.
With the like headline slot, we can kind of play some deeper cuts, you know.
Sure.
Deep cuts, deep tracks.
So what have you guys got planned for the rest of the year after this tour? And after the US tour, of course.
Well, we're going back on the Silverstein tour after this. That was when we left to come here.
Yeah.
And we're doing a house show run in the U.S. down to a bunch of festivals, some like radio rock festivals like Slipknot and like bands of that nature.
Yeah.
Some dad rock bands.
We're doing some more UK stuff. And basically a bunch more stuff we can't say yet. But a lot of touring.
I think we're playing shows constantly until like September.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right now. Probably will be more. Till December, actually.
You get loads of like sort of press from Kerrang, like Rock Sound and everything, like loads of British press. That must be pretty awesome. It's like to be played on at Kerrang and be featured in the magazine and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet.
I guess I don't see much of it because I don't think I've seen Kerrang magazine. I've maybe seen it like once or twice.
Sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a huge magazine over here, so.
Yeah. So thank you guys for talking to us, and
Thank you.
have fun with the tour. Have fun tonight as well.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
gonna be mental. We're gonna be there. We're gonna be there right from there. So.
Alright.
I'm really
We'll get buck wild.
I think the show's gonna be really good.
expressradio.co.uk. My name's Gus, I'm from Young Guns, and you're listening to Rockturnal.
How's the tour been so far? Kerrang tour?
Tour's been great. Yeah, tour's been really good. We haven't played any shows really for quite some time over here.
No, true.
So it's a real pleasure to be back on back in the UK, and the great thing is that we did one of our first ever kind of larger tours when we did the Kerrang tour.
Yeah.
The first time we did it, the only other time we've done it.
That was with My Passion and the Blackout.
It was, and we were co-opening the show, and that was quite a few years ago. And it was the Blackout and All Time Low as well, and that was a lot of fun. So we have fond memories of it. It's really good to be back.
Yeah, because it's been over a year since you last with the UK, and
it's been more time than that, really.
Yeah.
We did the shows with Bullet, which were brilliant, and then we did the show with Bring Me the Horizon a few months ago, and then we did Reading and Leeds. But that's really been it for about 2 years.
Yeah.
So too long.
Yeah, fair bit. You added like the secret band. Also, the secret band in inverted commas. But how did that come around?
Well, it was supposed to be a complete secret.
Okay.
But we couldn't get Kerrang to agree to that in the end.
Sure.
Basically, obviously we're about to release our new single,
yeah,
kind of first single properly off the forthcoming album, and
cool.
We've put a lot of time and a lot of thought into the record, and really we always do every aspect of our band, from the art to everything, and we wanted everything that we did to be interesting in its own right. Every little thing had to have something to it that we thought was kind of neat, and one of the ideas that we had to just begin the process of kind of reintroducing ourselves to people here in the UK was the idea of doing kind of like spot performances where we would just turn up unannounced and play. And one of the first people we approached was James from Kerrang, who's the editor, and he was surprisingly, we just thought it's a shot in the dark, and he was really enthusiastic about it, really liked the idea, and so I said, yeah, have at it. I mean, 15 minutes is not a long time, but it's simply kind of us saying, hey, we're back, remember us, and it's more about the chance, for me personally, it's about the chance to get out into the audience every night after we play, have a drink and meet all the people that I haven't seen before, or maybe haven't seen in a long time, and just kind of, it's very much just dipping a toe in the water of the touring in the UK again, We have a headline tour that we're just about to announce as well, so it's nice. just the beginning.
Nice, fair play. You said it's only like a 15-minute set. How hard was it to pick the songs to try? Because you've got such a massive back catalogue, it must be quite difficult.
I mean, I suppose it is in some respects, but in the spirit of the idea, which was kind of the reintroduction of ourselves as a band, I think we felt it was appropriate to pick a song called I Want Out, which was like a standalone that we released towards the end of last year, and then our newest song, Speaking in Tongues, And
which is amazing, by the way.
thank you. That's cool, man. Thanks, mate. And then Bones, which we probably would consider to be kind of the song that most people
Sure.
are most likely to know. So those are the three that we're playing.
Cool. It's like a massive sing-along anthem. It must be really strange to have everybody sing it back to you, even now still.
It never gets old, that's for
No.
sure. I mean, it doesn't matter how how crappy your day is, how tired you are, or how hungover you are, or how preoccupied you are. Once you're on a stage and you're fortunate enough to be in a position where you can stand on a stage and have people know the words to a song that you wrote, a couple of years ago on a notepad down in a friend's room or whatever.
Yeah.
That's quite quite an unusual and quite an amazing experience, and I've never found that that's been anything other than a great feeling every night.
Yeah, I mean, even when you're playing like the tours now, because you were added quite late to the thing, you might be playing to people who haven't heard you before.
Yeah.
And then how's that?
Well, that's kind of what was kind of. I hesitate to say that's what we wanted, because we just wanted to play for whoever wants to see us play.
Okay,
But I want to play in front of new people. I always want that. And when we started this band, one day we'd play any show we could, anywhere we could. So one day we'd be in Reading playing with like an Australian hardcore band like D's Nuts or something, and then the next day we'd be playing like a pop punk all dayer in somewhere completely different. And that's always the way we've been. And I think that from day one we've never really been interested in limiting ourselves to one group of bands or one sub-genre or anything like that. I think that's a little myopic, and I personally have a lot of faith in people and think that I think a good song is a good song, I suppose what I'm trying to say. And I think I like the idea that you don't have to stick to people that love you because they love all these other bands that maybe they think you sound like or whatever, and that's cool to me. So I enjoy playing to new people.
Definitely. I mean, even on this tour, the lineup's quite diverse.
It's really broad.
Yeah.
Super broad.
How is it all like? How is it to see heavier stuff from like Beartooth and Bury Tomorrow?
Well, I mean, fundamentally, they're good bands, and
definitely.
So I guess that's the thing that I look at. That's the only thing that I think should matter. The last time we headlined here in Cardiff, we had, and it's been a few years, so excuse me if I get it wrong, but we had the In Crowd, we had Your Demise.
I was there.
Cool, well that's awesome, man.
Well.
And Marmosets, and I think that those are not necessarily three bands that you would put next to each other, but they're all good bands, and I think that maybe it's a little naive, but I like the idea that should be the only thing that matters,
Yeah, good music and
people these days. I was just saying earlier that people these days will listen to Bring the Horizon and they'll listen to One Direction.
Yeah,
and I don't think that that's an insult to either one of those bands. It's just I just think people care a little less these days.
Yeah,
personally.
Definitely. I agree. I mean, with our show, we played like such diverse stuff. We played stuff from Mug Busted all the way through to Suicide Silence and back again, and it's just.
And I think that that's cool, and I think that I've always respected alternative music and alternative culture is very important, because it gives, I think, in a lot of times it gives people something to associate themselves with and allow them to define themselves a little bit by, and I think that's a very positive thing. However, I don't think that it should be limiting, which is the other side of the coin. I think if you want to listen to McBusted, so what? Listen to what you want to do. Like, there are different forms of expression, and I think that's cool. So I think it's great that the station does that. I think that's really neat. And
thank you.
I think that I think that's I would like that to be the only thing that matters, and I think we're seeing that now. Look at a band like Fall Out Boy. If you ask them, they probably would not hesitate to consider themselves a pop band. And not that I'm saying that's what I want for us, but I just think that we're reaching a point where genre boundaries are becoming a little less important than
trying to reach like a wider spectrum kind of thing. Yeah, definitely. So the tour's been on for like a week so far. Been mental, crazy.
It's been good. I mean, it's been weird because obviously we are playing very short sets, and that's an unusual experience. It's over before you've had time to get into the swing of it. But it's been a lot of fun. Fundamentally, it's just been great being on a tour in the UK again, because we missed that. So that's been really nice, and it's been wonderful seeing all the places that we haven't seen for ages: Bristol, Southampton, Leeds, all these places that we always have good shows in and we haven't been to for so long. And it's great reconnecting with friends in the other bands that we've already known for some time. So I've really enjoyed it. It's not been too kind of rock and roll crazy. We've been going home a lot of nights because of the nature of the routing. We can do that.
Okay, sure.
And we're still very much in a kind of preparation mode where we're having a lot of organisational things, lots of planning meetings, shooting videos, all this kind of stuff that you have to do. But it's been a lot of fun. We had one night where we went out in Leeds, I believe, and managed to lose John.
Really?
We turned up on Don Broco's bus and ended up going to Southampton with them a day early. So we lost our guitar for 2 days, but apart from that, it's been fine.
Fair play, nice one. But it had like a busy day yesterday, filming the video, and
yes,
yeah, how did that go?
Brilliant, yeah, really good, man. I think it's a really interesting and exciting video. I think it's quite unique and it's really dark.
Okay.
And the point, you know, Speaking in Tongues as a song is one we were really excited to write, and one that we put a lot of thought into, because it's a song that begins in this kind of upbeat major kind of situation and really takes a left turn in the middle of the song and evolves and grows and becomes quite dark. And the single edit that we've released for that, you know, because of time constraints, we obviously had to kind of edit that, but the full album version of the song really explores that a little more, and it was really fun to shoot a video that mirrors that. So as the video progresses, things get a little more dark and surreal, and I don't want to say too much about the storyline because it'll be out soon, but it's a really strong video, and we haven't seen the edit yet, but I feel like it has the potential to be our best video yet. So
wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Strong words.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's you never know. You never know. Working on doing videos on a budget, as we all must, is difficult. But I think the idea is strong, and hopefully the execution is too.
Cool. I mean, like you said earlier, it all starts out with like an idea on a bit of paper, and you know, you see it come to life. It's just crazy. It's
amazing. Yeah, when it goes well, it's brilliant. It has gone wrong on occasion,
sure,
which is only natural. But
of course.
Yeah, I'm really excited, and it's always nice, especially when you're working with other people. You have this creative. It's the same as songwriting. You have this little idea, and you don't necessarily have to get there, but you think it would be really cool if you could execute this idea correctly, and then you work with someone else, and they bring their skills and their knowledge to the table, and then you end up with this thing that neither one of you could have done on their own, but together you create something new. And it's quite like songwriting in that way. It's really cool.
Cool. Yeah. Speaking of songwriting stuff, how was the writing process for the new album, Ones and Zeros?
It was good. It was quite fragmented. I mean, we wrote I Want Out. We were on tour with Bullet for My Valentine in America 2 years ago now.
Wow.
And we wrote that, so we had like a week off.
Sure.
And we were in New York and we just wrote it, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. And we hadn't written anything for the new album, and that happened, and we were like, wow, I guess that's the benchmark now. You're always looking for that one song that really kind of excites you and turns you on. And when you've written that one song, you then know that you need to try and make every other song on the album that you've yet to write as good as that one.
Sure.
So we did that, and then a couple months later we wrote 3 more when we had another month off touring. So it's kind of been like that, here and there, you know.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot of fun, and it's felt kind of very organic and unrestricted. And we went into the writing of this record with there being no idea or no goal other than to write something that we thought was cool and fresh again, you know. And I think if we'd written another Bones or another All Our Kings Are Dead, we would have just felt it was a little insincere and a little boring.
Okay, so we can expect something a little different, but
it's an evolution, which I think every album should be. You know, there's a difference from the first EP to the first album, and a difference from the album to the second album, and I see it as being no different to that. It's just 3 years between albums, 3 years, you know, are you the same person you were 3 years ago? It's unlikely. Or you are interested in perhaps slightly different things, and there's no more to it than that. We just wanted to write something that we thought was cool and new and fresh, and still very much ours, but just a newer version of us.
Sure. Yeah, nice one. So with like Kerrang as well, so they've brought you on tour, they've played you like all over the years and stuff, so we've got massive support from them, and that's actually how I found out about you guys in the first place, because just sat at home, I had Kerrang TV on, and then Winter Kiss came on, and I was like, who is this band, they're amazing, and then went out and bought the album and stuff.
Man. That's
cool. So with like Kerrang and stuff like that, it's still after all these years, they're still giving you the support, still kind of putting you out there.
Yeah, it's great. It feels good. I mean, it's very necessary, sadly, and you know, it's difficult because journalism is it can be a bit of an ugly thing, you know, when you're making something. You're writing an album, no matter what you think of a band, you can guarantee the fact that when you listen to a song of theirs, they spend a lot of time and a lot of love trying to do that, and they really care about it. And journalism is an odd thing because it makes things that are very important to people that made them. It's a very difficult thing to describe, but you're crossing a line, and someone has the ability to say in a paragraph a positive or a negative thing, and that's kind of an odd thing. Having said all of that, Kerrang have been very good to us over the years, and I think that you need that as a band. You need support from people outside of the music business, people at a show, and you also need people to give you coverage, and so that, like yourself, for example,
we try our best.
Well, exactly. Things like this are so important, and that's a really good thing. So I'm really glad that Kerrang, but it's not just Kerrang, it's all of the press in the UK. We've been very lucky over the years, and we haven't ever really had too many scrapes with the press or anything like that.
No.
So, yeah, it's good. It's really important.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, just a few Kerrang specific questions for the tour. What are your favourite songs from the other bands?
It's a good question.
Difficult question.
Well, I don't necessarily know all the names.
Okay, sure.
Beartooth were a band that I'd always wanted to listen to because we had some friends. We actually have a friend that works for their label, and we'd always heard really good things about them, but I never heard their music.
Okay.
They have John's actually bought their record, so he's been listening to it loads. But they have a song they play in the middle of their set, which has a really nice melodic chorus, and it almost reminds me of "I Am the Avalanche." And it says something like, "I'm on the mountain, na, 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 na. It's easy to lose yourself sometimes." I love that song. It's brilliant. I mean, they're all good, but that one for me is a highlight.
Definitely.
And he says, "Everybody gets high, everybody gets low." I think it's really cool. So that's probably my favourite song in their set. Bury Tomorrow. Again, I'm going to struggle with names because I'm a bit of an idiot. I can't even remember all of my own band names. But what was the last single they released called?
Man on Fire.
That's their biggest one.
That's my favourite one, yeah.
Massive
Definitely.
tune. With We Are the In Crowd, we've been friends with this quite a long time. So probably... what's your favourite We Are the In Crowd, John? In Crowd song, or Ben? I'm not quite sorry, but I really think I hate you.
Yeah.
Great. Or You're Not Quite Satan, but I really think I hate you. I'm not sure if that's the title, but I love that song.
That's a good one.
And then Don Broco, that's a tricky one because they do have an awful... You like Fire? Yeah. Priorities is great. Yeah.
With the Walk,
We've had a sneak peek of some of their newer album as well, though,
nice.
and I think that the songs on there people are going to be really happy with it because they've got some huge songs in there too.
Yeah, I mean, I like Thug Workout, like right back from
super
when,
old
you know,
school, of course.
Yeah,
they just have a sense of fun about them that is, that's really is infectious.
Yeah, definitely, brilliant, awesome. So yeah, just to close that, what can we expect for the rest of 2015?
We're going to be doing an awful lot of touring. We've got a headline tour, as I mentioned, that we're going to be announcing in a few days.
Cool.
That runs through for the next couple of months. Festivals during the summer, a lot more music to come. We're really excited. We have a video that will be dropping real soon for Speaking in Tongues as well.
And we're really excited for Ones and Zeros as well.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That comes out June 8th, of course.
Sure,
And what other information will I be slapped unless I remember? I think that's it for now. The album version of Speaking Tongues has just gone live as well on iTunes today, so you can pick up the kind of perhaps alternate version.
Sure. Brilliant. No, thank you guys for talking to us. Thank you. And enjoy the rest of the tour.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Radio.co.uk.
Hi, it's Danny from Bury Tomorrow, and you're listening to Rockturnal.
You've been on the Kerrang tour for about a week or so now. How have you been finding it?
Yeah, really good. It's kind of surpassed all expectations. Obviously, we were a little bit nervous coming onto a tour where the genres are so different and varied. But I always think you should always immerse yourself into different music and different genres. And so we thought it might be a little bit of a challenge, but it's kind of been really easy. And
That's
the kids
brilliant.
are awesome. They're so stoked, and the age range is so much younger than kind of what we're used to. So it's really nice to see lots of really young kids open their minds kind of a little bit to metal music, because obviously it is quite abrasive and it is kind of shocking, but it's cool. Yeah, I mean, they're all really cool and they're really young, and it's nice to be able to play for people that may not be able to come to usual 14 plus shows. So
Yeah, exactly, because obviously lots of people who come may not have heard you before.
Yeah,
that must be really exciting.
yeah, I mean, it's strange for us because we just did the Runes tour and it was obviously huge for us, like the biggest Runes we've ever done, and kind of on a lot of our fan base may not have come out on this tour because obviously we played for an hour and we're only playing for half an hour, and it's the Kerrang tour kind of thing. But I mean, it's great. It's the best. It's what you want to do as a band. I want to play in front of people that don't know who we are, and I want to play in front of people that maybe it challenges them a little bit to like us, to get into us, you know, because as I said, it is an abrasive kind of music.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's kind of nice. It's nice to have a challenge. You know?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Obviously, you've been on it for a week now. Do you have any gossip or stories? Is there, someone's got to been up to mischief.
We went out.
The naked people apparently.
Yeah, Thursday there was Brandon, who is the drummer from Beartooth, got naked on a bus. Caleb last night got so drunk that he puked outside a trailer. We all got pretty drunk last night. It was pretty crazy. We went out to a tiki bar, and there was no one else there but us. And they had one of those spin the wheel fortune things where you can win alcohol and stuff. And we cleaned up. Like they were so bummed out because the first one we won 9 pints, the second one we won 6 Jaeger bombs, the third one we won 6 Jaeger bombs, and then we won £130 treasure chest with bottles of Moe in it, and we didn't lose. There wasn't, and it was a tenner a spin, and we spent, between 6 of us, we spent £35, and we consumed about 500 quid's worth of alcohol.
Oh my god, that
so they were
amazing.
they were pretty bummed out, but it was sweet.
Where was that place?
Kapu, is it?
Okay.
It's in town centre.
I'm going to be going there then.
Yeah, do it, have a go, yeah, because it is quite easy to win.
Okay, Jack, it's just easy to win.
They might have taken it down now, to be honest.
Probably.
They might be out of business.
Yeah, just closed down.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. Concerning, like, obviously, like you're saying, there's different genres of bands on the thing. Are there any favourite songs from the other bands that you have?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I've grown up with Don Broco, I've grown up with Young Guns, you know, so for me is that those two bands, you know, we used to play shows together like 6 years ago, you know, so it's nice to be able to get on a tour and play them. You know, obviously Don Broco have like Yeah Man, which is an amazing tune, Priorities is a huge tune. Young Guns have Bones, obviously. I don't really know, for my sins, a lot of Watic stuff, like, but they're a great band, and obviously they're a great live band, but I think they've got one song that it may be called Destiny, I don't know, but it's got a chorus bit, and she sings it in Soundcheck, and it's awesome, so maybe Destiny, I don't know if that's a song name. And then Beartooth is just awesome.
Beartooth,
yeah, I mean, Dead, Body Bag, Beaten in the Hips, like, they play all the bangs. They are a great band.
What's it like playing with like people you've been growing up listening to then?
It's kind of weird because we grew up as friends as well, so like that's the thing, you know, like us and like we were all bands back in the day trying to make it, and we were so small and stuff, and like one of our first out of town shows was in Plymouth, and that was with Don Broco. Like I formed myself with them, what they are, and obviously Tom, their bassist, used to be in a band called Proceed, and I was a big fan of Proceed, and we were really good friends as well, so that's kind of weird. And Young Guns, like, it's kind of our friendships, we've known each other, like just passing, but our friendships kind of blossomed more over the last few years because we end up getting lumped together as like, you know, UK rock music, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, it's great, you know. And Caleb is like my brother, like Caleb from Beartooth. Like he goes out with well, he's married, sorry, to an old friend of mine and Dav's from years and years. We've known her, Fleur, for years and years. So he's now married to her. So we also toured with Attack. So yeah, I mean,
that's brilliant.
It's been amazing. Like I love those boys to bits, and it's awesome.
You sound like a proper family. That must be lovely to
It is a big family. It's the first tour we've ever been on where we know 95% of the people and crew on the tour. So it's
brilliant.
pretty sweet.
Perfect. You've had a really busy year. Like I was looking at you guys to do some research already, and it's like it's only February, and you've already done a tour already with Caliban and everything, and now this. And I know you're doing show in Switzerland as well over the summer. What else do you have like planned for the year? Because I know lots of people are keen to see.
Yeah, I mean we've got a lot of announcements, and it's kind of one of those awkward states of affair where we can't announce stuff, and we're doing interviews about what our year's going to hold.
Exactly.
But I mean, we're doing an album. It's fairly common knowledge that we're going to go into a studio. Pretty much, we've got a week off, and we head into pre-production. So we do that in March, and then we finish pre-production, and we have 4 days off in which we're flying to Japan to play in Japan for 3 days, and we fly back and start recording the album. So
very busy.
It's pretty. Yeah, I mean, we haven't really started. It's the busiest start to a year we've ever had in the career of our band. So it's it's pretty crazy. Like we did 21 days on with Caliban, no days off. 4 days off. A week off, pre-production, like Japan, like actual production, festival season, and obviously we're going to try and hit a lot of festivals this year, but it's not going to be as crazy as it usually is. It's kind of a build-up year for us. We've also got like crazy announcements that we're going to announce soon, but we can't yet.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
But it will happen soon enough, and
That's
people should
brilliant.
just. We're not taking this year lightly, obviously. So.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
Yeah, for sure.
That's brilliant. Fair play. What do you find? You're saying you're going to Japan and stuff like that. Do you find a difference nationally between crowds and audiences you get? Like,
I mean, I just think culturally, anyway, that Japan is such a different place to go. You know, I've been there. I've been lucky enough to go twice. The guys have gone once with me. Sorry, and yeah, I mean, it's culturally it's so different. It's just next level. Like everything is different as well. It's not like Germany or France or Spain or anywhere like that where you can kind of muddle along and be able to function there. Whereas in Japan everything is different. So it's
crazy.
Even as small as things like the writing, and it's hard to be able to just muddle along there. But it's an amazing place. They're an amazingly respectful race of people, if you will. Like they're an amazingly respectful of music and live music. So it gets a bit weird because they don't clap after songs because they want to hear what you say. So the first time we went was a very a kind of a weird experience for us because we went with Pierce Surveil, Confide and us, and Crossfaith actually were on that tour, which is kind of weird thinking about it now. But we'd go on, and we were the first Japanese band to go on. So all of Pierce Surveil and Confide had never been there before, so they were waiting and watching to see what happened, and played, and everyone just went silent, and we were like, whoa, how have we done something wrong? And then they go crazy in the song and then stop. And it's like, that's kind of what they're about, whether it's day-to-day life or, for live shows. So it's very different.
That's great. I remember I saw Crossfaith the other day when they came to Bristol, and they were saying that, again, the opposite way of cross-culturally, they found England so accepting, and the UK and Western and that kind of thing.
I think
it's growing there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Japanese music as a whole, I think is, especially in metal music as well, is growing and growing and growing, and they have the biggest crowds out there. Crossfaith do so well, and you could draw 100 people when we toured with them, and now they draw thousands and thousands.
Yeah.
And people like OK Go, I think it is OK One Go or something like that. They draw 30,000 people. We were just having a conversation about it back there. So 30,000 people a night, which is, there isn't anyone in the UK metal-wise that can do that. There really isn't. Iron Maiden possibly would do obviously more, but people like Bring Me, they're at the top of the tree, and even them, it's they've done Wembley, which is 12,500. So it's yeah, we've got a way to go to be as big as those bands, that's for sure.
Oh God, can you imagine being in an arena kind of thing? Would that be your idea of heaven, or? I don't know.
For me, it's, I just want to play to as many people as possible. I really enjoy bigger crowds because I enjoy it, regardless of whether they like us or know us or anything like that. It's just because you have more to work with, but it never really scares me. I haven't been scared about going on in the show, and we did Download main stage this year, and that was mad. It was awesome, but it was about 35,000 or 40,000 people. But yeah, I mean, that was sweet. I get on with it and I enjoy it, and there's more people that I can talk to. But we're a band that doesn't care about the barrier in there or the stage. We're all about meeting people. So that was a cool experience for me.
That's brilliant. It's considering, like you say, you've done Download, and a friend of mine saw you in Hit the Deck Festival 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Would you be considering doing any more festivals in the UK? Because that kind of atmosphere seems to work quite well with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we did Slam Dunk, which was insane. For us, we headlined that, which was just crazy. And Empiricon Festival as well in the same year. And yeah, I mean, of course we would. It's our home, it's the UK. So for us, it's all about playing to as many people as possible. So we're not playing Download this year for that very reason. So that when we go back, we can play main stage again and draw a lot of people, And they love us, which is awesome. Andy Coppin is the guy who books it, and he loves us. And Dave Bradley is the one who booked us. And they're awesome. They're so nice to us and make us feel like kings when we go and when we play their festival. So even though we're third on main stage, it's it's awesome. So yeah, I mean, we'd definitely be up for playing more festivals in the UK. I think this year is kind of keeping it a bit on the down low, but we're doing a few, to say the least. So
that'd be cool. That's good. Concerning but as you were evolving as a band and stuff, you said you really wanted to keep and remind people that metalcore was really relevant and stuff like that. And obviously, like you're saying, as it's still growing now and it's taken a real big reboot. Did you get a lot of influence from where you grew up and stuff like that? Because there's a huge like influence down there, surely.
Yeah, I mean, we, like, as a band, like 5 members now, we're so tight in exactly where we want to go as a band and our route, you know, and how we want to be perceived, you know. So, and all of our musical interests as well, you know, all of our music interests are directly influential onto how we perform or how we write. So it's like we used to listen to all the metalcore classics, like, you know, Killswitch Engage, Still Remains, As I Lay Dying, Atreyu, and all the bands that kind of founded the genre that we call metalcore, you know. And it became kind of like a dirty word in around like 2008, really, 2000. And it was kind of like the in thing for these bands to kind of not sell out, but like go more in a rocky route. And we were always kind of confused and perplexed about that, you know. And we wanted to stay real true to metalcore as a whole. And As I Lay Dying obviously always did, up until obviously what went on with that band. But you know, they've always stayed quite true to that sound, and we've always been like that. You know, we had Union kind of helped us really grow into our skin as like a modern day metal band. Portraits was our first record. It was our first attempt at being a band. You know, I was 17 years old when 17 years old when I did Portraits, which makes me feel very old. But and then, you know, Union was our like relevant stamp on this is us, this is metalcore, and from that moment onwards we are striving to be more and more metalcore, you know, and trying to live up to the stereotypes of being metalcore, you know. So it's pretty sweet. We're in a great position. We're in a lucky position as well. So.
Yeah. Talking about your influence and stuff, you've toured with Aspen Alexandria, Mice and Men, Watch Your Sleeps, all these big upcoming bands and everything like that. Who would be your dream band you would love to either cooperate or like tour with? Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Like, I love Slipknot, like I always have. They're a big band, like they're a big influence on me, sorry, Corey Taylor, especially vocally as well, and he's a great guy as well. He's an awesome personality. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to be able to do, they're the biggest band in the game, so I'd like to be able to tour with them. Bands like Avenged Sevenfold, I'd like to do a tour with them, and you know, I just think we need to make a step, we need to make a statement as our next few support tours, and so yeah, I mean, bands like that, our friends as well, I love touring. I'd love to tour with Bring the Horizon, be a good tour, like, you know, they're great guys as well, and they're really carving their own niche of music, and they really have capitalised on everything they've done, so yeah, that'd be a great band. And Parkway as well, I suppose, because Parkway Driver are, I would say, our Australian counterparts when it comes to the style of metalcore, you know. So.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. I have a very strange question to ask you. How did the cover of Living La Vida Loca happen? Was it a dare? Was it just something that happened?
Yeah, I mean, it was. We had a bit of studio time left, and when we were recording the extended versions of, well, basically we released Portraits, and Portraits came out, and we got the success from that. And then we went, when we signed to Artery Foundations, that they wanted us to re-release it in the States, so we did the Wax Wings EP, which was Wax Wings, Western Front, and Breathe on Glass. And we had a bit of spare time, and we were like, well, there was speculation of things like Punk Goes Pop, or, you know, especially when we were on that kind of label, that was a really, we were driven towards those kind of fans and stuff, which isn't a bad thing, but it's not really what we do now. But, I mean, I suppose it was always a thought, like, well, if they ask us, then at least we've got it. So we didn't want to do a pop song, because I don't, personally, it's not my thing, I don't like how pretty much every band on Punk Goes Pop does the same thing.
Yeah, especially recently, with like recent albums and stuff as well.
It's like, you know, it's a verse, singing, breakdown. It's just rubbish, to be honest. Like, but there's no disrespect to those bands. It's their fans. Like, so we just decided that we were going to do something really different, and Living La Vida Loca is the most different you can go, I suppose. But it was pretty sweet. Like, it's quite fun, and it's kind of damned us now because we never play it live, so we always get asked for it. It's kind of died down over the last few years, but like when we first did it, we were asked every single day. I think we've played it live 3 times ever.
Really?
So it's pretty.
And lucky people who have seen it then.
Yeah. I mean, we played it live. I remember London Barfly, Camden Barfly. It seems like forever ago, but 2010 is the last time we played it, I think.
Wow. I mean, okay, for me, you kind of make my guilty pleasure song acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, I love Living La Vida Loca. It's a great tune.
It's brilliant. Do you have any other like guilty pleasure songs you would like consider covering one day?
See, personally, I don't think there should be anything I think guilty pleasure shouldn't even be a word, you know, like a word. So because I think, you know, you should immerse yourself and listen to stuff that you enjoy, you know. And I listen to things like Justin Bieber. Like, I like the Believe album. I think it's a great album. Like, as far as pop music goes, I think it's awesome. I don't really like One Direction, but that's just a personal thing. But I don't know, my guilty pleasure is Justin Timberlake, like Katy Perry, Lana Del Rey is like a huge. I love Lana Del Rey.
She's great.
Yeah, and things like Adele, she's great. Sam Smith.
She makes me cry.
Yeah,
Adele
she's
makes me
awesome.
cry all the time.
Like, and I like I like talent. I like listening to some people that have got talent, and those kind of people do. So yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for an acoustic guitar and a voice. So.
I love it. It must be nice then to be able to have the melding of like genres and stuff like that, and especially genres accepting other genres and stuff like that, like the contrast between metal and pop music coming together and there being less of a divide.
That's awesome. That's as I said while we were talking about this tour, and it's great to be able to be on tour with bands that also respect what we're doing. Metal is a huge thing now, and really a lot of people are standing up and taking notice. Of this genre, that's this crazy genre that used to be only for clubs and pubs. And when we started, we're not talking years and years and years ago, we're talking 4 or 5 years ago, where it was only in dark, dingy clubs, and now we're talking sat here with 1,000 pre-sale for a tour which a lot of those fans like metal, and that's awesome, and I'm glad that we're part of that. I'm glad we're part of the wave of people in the UK that are also standing up and saying, yes, we can play big venues, and our last tour we did Coco, sold it out, 1,440 people, so that's a lot of people, and it's a great feeling, and I feel proud that we're part of that. So I think other bands kind of stand up and look at that. Some of the Don Broco boys, I believe, were there at Coco, same as Def Havana, and we were all hanging out because we're all friends, I love what they're doing, they love what we're doing, so it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, good. One last question before we go, because I know I'm pressing you for time and that kind of thing.
You carry on.
You're going on tour a lot and this kind of thing, and I'm one of these people, I think it says a lot about a person. What do you, what's your go-to thing to pass the time on tour when you're travelling and stuff? Do you have a TV series, or personally I'm slaughtering Supernatural. I've just discovered it and I'm gone.
I don't know really, I like movies obviously, I'm a big fan. I don't really have that many TV shows that I'm really rubbish, and I should, because I get called Jesse Pinkman more times than anything in the world. But I should watch Breaking Bad, I really should, because I've heard great things. Game of Thrones I should watch, but I don't.
I'm exactly the same. I've watched the first 4 episodes and then I'm like, I can't juggle them all.
Walking Dead was also, I really enjoyed Walking Dead, but I lost it, and I actually, funny story, came home from Australia and I sat for 17 hours of the flight watching season 4 of Walking Dead, I think, and I haven't seen season 2 or 3, so I was just sat there like, what's happened? This has all changed. So yeah, I mean, there's that. I also skateboard. I haven't brought my stuff, and we work out, me and Rich, our tour managers, we kind of try and stay healthy and try and work out as much as we can, and drink as well, so that's another thing. Balance. Yeah, I mean, that kind of passes the time, I suppose, when you get drunk.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But a lot of the days, they move a lot quicker than people think, you don't have a lot.
Imagine.
When you're on a bus as well, this is not new to us, we've done it a couple of times, but being on a bus it's so much quicker because you get to the venue and you're there. Yeah. So you wake up, and the majority of the days you wake up and you're in a different city, so it's kind of, you can do more stuff, you can go and walk around. I like walking around town centres, and I think for me is that I think you should take if you're lucky like we are, we're lucky to what we do, and you should always take 5-10 minutes out in a day and just really go and find something that makes you appreciate that, as sentimental as it sounds. I'll go to a town centre, I'll find a castle or something, and I'll just sit and kind of drink it in, that this is my job, has brought me there, and whether I'm a road cleaner, I'm a banker or stuff like that, I think you should take time out of your day and be like, I'm lucky that I've got this, I'm lucky that I'm here, and even I went up to Cardiff and you sit by the castle and just go, this is awesome, It's
beautiful about
there's a lot of, there's a lot of people that don't get that chance, and there's a lot of people that live 20 minutes away from here that have never had that chance, and as ridiculous as it sounds, and you kind of take it for granted sometimes, but I try my hardest not to. So.
Yeah, well, that's brilliant. I mean, I'm fair. I keep meaning to go to Butte Park, just behind there, and if you live there, it's so hard to be able to just branch off and stuff like that. So many people would kill for what you guys do.
Yeah, I mean, it's
brilliant.
It is some crazy world, that's for sure. But I kind of take for granted that I've seen every city in the UK. There isn't a city I haven't been to, and same as places in Europe as well. I've been to pretty much every country in Europe and played pretty much every state in America. So it's kind of It is pretty weird being a 25-year-old and have done all that, so it's pretty awesome.
I'm tempted now, you say you've been to every city. I come from St David's up in Wales, and it's the smallest city.
Maybe I haven't been there then.
You should come to St David's, come play in the
maybe we'll play a
cathedral.
show there, see what happens.
Play the big old Gothic cathedral, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'll have you sometime. It's brilliant. Well, thank you for having
No worries.
with you.
Anytime.
Brilliant.
expressradio.co.uk.
Hi, we're Don Broco, and you're listening to Rockturnal.
Cool, so how's the tour been so far, guys? Good?
A lot of fun, yeah. We're about halfway through now, so we've kind of settled into the stride of playing again and having loads of fun at shows, meeting a lot of the people, and yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, what's it like being back to in the UK as well? It's been a while.
It has been a while, hasn't it? The last headline tour we did was December 2013, I think it was, so it's pretty nice to get back out. And also we went across to Dublin as well, which we haven't done for a long while, and haven't done any tours over there, so
cool.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
The lineup's pretty diverse. Like, I've been speaking to a couple of the other bands, and they're all agreeing on this, that how much they're enjoying playing with lots of different bands and stuff like that. How have you been finding that? Is that
It's
quite
really
nice,
good.
isn't it?
Yeah, cause it's quite. I mean, when we first started as a band, that's all we ever played, and I think probably we didn't like it as much when we first started because
What's all we ever played?
diverse random bills. You know, we play with. I mean, a lot of, or you know, you play these kind of crazy mismatched bills with, you know, like an old covers band, an old school, you know, rock and roller, and then like
always one metal band, at least one.
Or a hardcore band.
Yeah,
metalcore.
I mean, I remember there was one show in Glasgow we did where the guy turned up in a pig mask and with this big ventilator thing. No, it wasn't Wishfit.
No, it was a pig mask with a gas mask over the top.
Gas mask over the top.
Yeah, that was in Aberdeen.
It was in Aberdeen, yeah, that was it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had to secretly video off my phone because it was just so outrageous. Adam, you need to be here, please. I mean, it was, and you come out of those shows and you're like, what are we doing? We need to find more bands that sound like us. Then you start doing the kind of more match bills, and not that we'd want to ever go right back to how we started, but getting to now play with bands that don't all sound the same is a real kind of nice, you know, way of keeping things fresh and keeping it interesting. So it's good.
I suppose because of that, sometimes you might get bands that aren't as familiar with you or don't even know you. What's that like?
Yeah, I mean, good. I mean, we'd never. Well, we knew Bury Tomorrow from years ago, and we played with an in crowd for a few years now, like just random festival bills and stuff. But we'd never met Beartooth before, and we'd never actually heard them before the tour. I don't think they'd ever heard of us. You know, we'd never been to America, so that was really nice. Actually, kind of, you know, getting to, you know, the tour actually introducing us as bands, and they're awesome. So
it's quite good to have the opportunity to actually try and win over some of the people who wouldn't usually listen to you as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kind of Bury Tomorrow fan might not be the person that would listen to Don Broco, but if they stick around and watch, then they might.
Yeah. Does that affect how you sort of compile the set list then to try and put, you know?
We don't have really enough songs to do that. Think about what we put in our set. It's kind of like a case we play all of them, like it or love it.
Try to keep it quite high energy for this tour.
Yeah, that sounds right. So you played your first arena show last year as well. How was that?
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. I mean, that was the only touring we really did last year was the Unit 6 tour, and that was a real kind of, you know, it was the first real big support tour we'd ever done as a band as well, and so to get to do some of those venues was just insane, you know. I mean, the Nottingham Arena was just ridiculous, and me and Matt went to uni in Nottingham, so we've been there a couple of times to see, you know, big acts. So we've been wrestling,
ice hockey.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just
it's huge, isn't it?
huge. Yeah, so it was kind of crazy walking out on that stage. To do that, it's a very different experience to, you know, a club show or anything like that. And I guess it's kind of the benefits and negatives of doing those shows. You know, we love the energy when you can see people's faces and do it in the crowd, but the kind of epicness of if you do play to that many people, when you hear that many people sort of singing your songs back, nothing really beats that. So it was cool.
Okay. So you've been taking some time out of touring to like write the new album and stuff. How's the writing process been going? Good.
We actually was signing off at the Final Masters the week before we came out on this tour.
Cool.
So it was a long year of a lot of trials and tribulations, but we came out like with the best possible set of songs we could have done, and worked with like the best people we could have done, and we couldn't be more stoked on how it's come out. It took us a bit longer than we thought, but we wanted it to be perfect, so we ducked out for a bit longer than we anticipated, but I'm pretty sure it's been for the best.
Nice to head out on tour with it done.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, move on to now just the start of probably a busy touring cycle.
Yeah, I'm starting to play a couple of the new ones on this tour as well, which is quite nice.
Yeah, I'm addicted to Money, Power, Fame at the minute. Just listen to it all morning. It's insane. No.
Like we were saying, like looking forward to the new album, what can bands expect from it? Is it going to follow the same kind of routes as the ones you've just released from it, or is it going to be more diverse, or?
Definitely more diverse, I think. I mean, one of our things as a band, like all our favourite records, regardless of who they're by, tend to be ones that are really varied. I think we just get bored quite quickly of listening to like loads of songs that are really going for the same thing.
Yeah.
And so with the record we tried to make it kind of super broad in its appeal. So there's a lot of stuff on there for like kind of, if you like the kind of heavier side, or if you like the softer side, or the more groovy side. We're just trying to hit all the things that we feel we do well, and take them to the next level.
Okay. Awesome. So with like the release of Money, Power, Fame, and Fire and stuff so far, do they reflect the new album, or is there more? Is there like a more diverse kind of thing?
Yeah, well, I think they definitely reflect the album.
Yeah.
I mean, there's elements of definitely elements of potentially all the songs in the album within those songs, but we definitely, as Simon mentioned, in some of the the other tracks on the album, we've let ourselves maybe sort of push ourselves outside the usual kind of Broco remit. When we started writing songs, we never wanted to write the same songs twice. If anything sounded like a song we'd written on our last album, or a song that we were writing on this album, like Money, Power, Fame, and Fire, we're like, okay, it's too similar, we need to kind of just go completely outside the box, go for it, and then even by the time we finished actually recording it, it always just sounded like us, even when we were like, okay, this sounds crazy, no one's going to know it's us, and then it does by the time you finish with it. So I mean, I think it is pretty broad, pretty varied, but it still sounds definitely very us.
Cool. Okay. So what you got planned for the rest of 2015?
Well, getting the album out.
Well,
the main thing, and that's hopefully going to be kind of hitting the start of the summer. And we're just going to be getting a few gigs together. Really, that's the thing that's this tour's given us the taste for, is getting back out there, and obviously we're going to want to be promoting the record, but maybe playing some sort of places we haven't played before. We're quite keen. This tour is one of the biggest tours we've ever done too, and maybe getting back and doing some really small shows again would be quite nice to do. Kind of bring things back to basics. And then one or two festivals, and then we'll be touring again at the some point later in the year.
Cool. Can we expect another home show?
We're talking about it now, so we're like playing around with a few different ideas, but we like doing our hometown shows. We normally try and do one or two a year, and I mean last year we did this really fun like acoustic show. That was all we got to do, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which we don't normally do. We've got a few kind of acoustic versions of our songs, but we've never done a full acoustic show. And we went to Danny's bar. And, we went opposite to Holy Moly's, and at Esquire's, and did that then for our mate was raising money for his sister's charity, wasn't it? And that was wicked. That was a really good experience. So if we can do something kind of a little bit off the wall like that, again, that'd be sick. I mean, we love Esquires, but maybe something else. I don't know. Maybe something a bit different for us. Who knows? Maybe we'll go Rushton.
That would be good. That would be good. Shout out.
The Russian Village Hall.
Just a random village hall. In the middle of nowhere.
Where did we do once that was just outside Bedford we've never been back to?
St. Neots.
Was it St. Neots?
No, never.
Were we not?
No.
I swear we did.
Is it Dunstable?
Dunstable, yeah.
Was that?
It's not that random, is it?
Was it Dunstable Theatre? Okay, yeah.
Cool.
I don't think they put shows in there anymore, but that was quite exciting. I don't think so.
Do you have any favourite songs from the people on the tour with you at the moment?
Bobby loves Lionheart, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're all quite digging the Young Guns songs as well, like I Want Out and stuff like that. I think that's
the new Young Guns stuff sounds wicked. Yeah. Yeah,
that one too.
Cool. So I guess that's probably I'm a Big Man on Fire song by Very Tomorrow.
Same. I like that song. It's good.
It's a sweet one. So yeah, I mean, we try and get out and see as much of them as we can, you know, at the shows.
Cool.
Haven't really seen that much with Ian Crackerstone just before us, but I keep telling myself, right, I'm going to get ready really early and do it. So maybe tonight I'll get to see a full set.
Yeah. It must be like really strange to play with such a diverse group of bands as well. Like I said before, playing to like the different types of crowds and stuff.
I think the good thing about this tour, though, that even though you can tell a little bit, you know, when you look into the crowd and you see, you know, some absolute metalheads standing next to some real kind of pop punk skater kids, and there's that slight kind of clash of, I guess, fashion, but everyone seems to be getting into that's the great thing about this tour. It really brings together, you know, a lot of different people who like different, you know, styles of rock music, and you see them getting into it in exactly the same way. You know, everyone's losing their shit in the crowd, so it's, you know, it's definitely, you know, a kind of unifying feel to the tour.
I've got to ask, because you've been on tour for a while now, has there been any like funny stories or embarrassing things that have happened that you could maybe tell us, or other bands with you guys?
Well,
probably other bands.
Our driver brought his daughter. Actually, maybe I shouldn't say that.
So we've got a DJ set tonight. That's a big night out, so potentially we'll have some stories up tonight.
Team up,
Mike fell down the stairs on the bus.
He did.
He bruised his coccyx.
He did.
How was your coccyx? Well,
that was quite funny.
No, I think this is the first tour we've ever done on a bus, and so we kind of got a bit overexcited maybe the first few nights, and, you know, being able to drink on the bus and not have to worry about getting to the next show so much. We started a game called Clever Monkey. Okay. We've been playing the first few nights.
Jen from Kerrang's really good at it.
Never played.
The premise is you're not allowed to touch the floor with your feet or anything like that, so you've got to have
you can't
from one bus and get all the way down.
And, you know, if you're drunk and the bus is moving, it's quite tricky.
yeah, especially if it's moving.
There's usually someone moving from one end and you're moving from the other. And you've got to bypass each other.
No,
there's no way of bypassing. One of the people gets dismounted.
I don't see that ending well. Well, just to close up then, can we expect, you know, with the walk for priorities, it's going to become a staple. Can we expect another dance for the new album? Or any more songs coming?
I haven't worked out any as of yet.
We're aiming for about 3 different dances per song.
Nice.
So we're going to have
every song's going to be choreographed.
About 36 different routines, which we're going to alternate between during the next shows.
Nice.
We've got to learn how to play them first, and then we'll learn.
Music is very much a secondary concern for the next record. It's all about what's going to fit our dance moves from best.
That's brilliant. Yeah, no, thank you guys for talking to us.
Pleasure.
Enjoy the show, have a good night, and have a good rest of the tour.
Thanks for having us.
expressradio.co.uk